This episode of the Young Turks is brought to you by Mog, the best mobile and web music service. Sign up for a 14-day free trial at mog.com/TYT.
Mog. President Obama has a press conference today. He will explain the cave-in on the tax cuts. Let's start with clip number 3.
You've been telling the American people all along that you oppose extending the tax cuts for the wealthier Americans. Yeah. You've said that again today. But what you never said was that you oppose the tax cuts, but you'd be willing to go ahead and extend them for a couple of years if the politics of the moment demanded. So what I'm wondering is, when you take a stand like you had, why should the American people believe that you're going to stick with it? Why should the American people believe that you're not going to flip-flop?
Hold on a second, Ben. This isn't the politics of the moment. This has to do with what can we get done right now.
That is the politics of the moment. What do you mean?
The issue, here's the choice. It's very stark. We can't get my preferred option through the Senate right now. As a consequence, if we don't get my option through the Senate right now, and we do nothing, then on January 1st, of 2011, the average family is going to see their taxes go up about $3,000. Number two, at the end of this month, 2 million people will lose their unemployment insurance. Now, I have an option, which is to say, you know what, I'm going to keep fighting a political fight, which I can't win in the Senate. And by the way, there are going to be more Republican senators in the Senate next year sworn in than there are currently. So the likelihood that the dynamic's going to improve for us getting my preferred option through the Senate will be diminished. I've got an option of just holding fast to my position, and as a consequence, 2 million people may not be able to pay their bills, and tens of millions of people who are struggling right now are suddenly going to see their paychecks smaller. Or, alternatively, what I can do is I can say that I am going to stick to my position that those folks get relief, that people get help for unemployment insurance, and I will continue to fight before the American people to make the point that the Republican position is wrong. Now, if there was not collateral damage, if this was just a matter of my politics or being able to persuade the American people to my side, then I would just stick to my guns. Because the fact of the matter is the American people already agree with me. I mean, there are polls showing right now that the American people, for the most part, think it's a bad idea to provide tax cuts to the wealthy. But the issue is not me persuading the American people. They're already there. The issue is, how do I persuade the Republicans in the Senate who are currently blocking that position? I have not been able to budge them. And I don't think there's any suggestion anybody in this room thinks realistically that we can budge them right now.
You've been telling the American...
All right. A couple of very important notes from that. First, the man who campaigned on the slogan, "Yes, we can," said in the middle of it, and I underlined it, "I can't win." He said, "I can't win in the Senate." Now, that goes to point number 2. He is betraying either a fundamental ignorance of how politics works, or he's hoping that the rest of us don't catch on to what he already knows and what he chose not to do. So what is that? Because that's really important, because if you don't know much about politics and you just watch that and go, what can he do? The Senate won't vote with him. That's it. He has no choice, right? No, he has a huge choice. The way that politics actually works is you go and you campaign in swing states. So, for example, it's not just about his campaign, it's the campaign of the senators. What you do is you move the senators off their position. How do you do it? This is something that's been done for decades. This is not new. You go to a campaign in Massachusetts against Scott Brown, who took Ted Kennedy's seat and who was up for re-election in 2012. And you say, look, here's the polling in Massachusetts. Here's the polling in the country. The people are on my side. And I'm going to keep pressing and pressing and pressing. I'm going to go to Massachusetts every other week until Scott Brown says, no mas. You win. Because if Scott Brown votes the wrong way, when 67% of the people in the country, which is probably a higher number in Massachusetts, 80% of the people in Massachusetts want him to end the tax cuts for the rich, well, that's fine. Well, Scott Brown can go down with that ship, and he will no longer be the senator from Massachusetts in the next election, and then you can get your way with a new Democratic senator. But the reality is, Scott Brown will budge much longer, much earlier than that. The minute you go and apply pressure and you show him a poll in his home state of 66% or 70%, he's going to scream uncle. And then you go do that with Olympia Snowe and Susan Collins in Maine. And then you go around the country saying, who's next, bitch? Who's next? Until these scared little politicians, they're politicians. By their nature, they're cowards. Okay? If you press on their open wound a little bit, they're going to go, okay, yes, no tax cuts for the rich, you win. Do you know that there's a Republican right now, George Voinovich, retiring in Ohio, but still in the Congress now, saying, oh, hell no, these tax cuts are crazy. They're going to blow up our budget. Look at this. Let me give you his exact quote. George Voinovich, the tax cuts are, quote, completely irresponsible. The American people should know that a lot of the reduction of their taxes is borrowed money from China. You've got to pay for it. You've got to pay for it. You've got to pay for it. He said it 3 times. Voinovich is going to vote no. He already had some Republican votes. If he tried, if he went and campaigned in all those different places, that's how you win. And he doesn't know that. You know something else we know? Because John Boehner said it on the record on national television. He said if he only was presented with the choice of voting for the middle-class tax cuts and no tax cuts for the rich, he would vote yes. All you had to do was apply pressure. But if you think you can't ever win, well, then you won't, because you won't even try. Either he doesn't know anything about politics, or he's trying to pretend none of the rest of us do. Casper, if you're looking to get music, what do you think you do?
I think I want to mog it up.
Totally. You know why? 10 million songs.
Unlimited music, as much as you want.
You could use it on your PC, you could use it on your iPhone, iPod Touch, Android, anywhere you go. They don't charge you a fee for a song, they don't give you ads, you can create your own playlist.
The best part is that they have excellent sound quality, so you know you have great CD sounding music available on the web.
14 free day trial, mog.com/TYT.
/.
Síguetelo.